Welcome. My name is Master Chef Tony Cedar with Butterball. Today I'd like to show you some of the differences we have in knives and what are their purposes. You know, you see all these different shapes, sizes, and blades, and it's really knowing what each one can do. And a question that I always ask, what is the most important knife in the kitchen? And we laugh about this every once in a while, but it is the sharp knife. You know, and I feel that sharp knives are the best thing that you can use because they do the work and you're not there forcing it to do its job. You know, what I like to start off with is the paring knife. Now, the paring knife is used for anything that you then have to lift off of a cutting board. It's like peel a potato, peel a piece of fruit. And this is what the purpose of a paring knife would be. It's small, compact, and it has a very sharp blade to it and something that's really manageable so that you've got it into your hand and you're able to do that. The next knife that we have too is called a serrated knife. As you can see, all these little serrations that are across the blade of the knife. This is very good for cutting bread, and if it's really like cutting a tomato, something that has a soft tissue to it. But if you notice the serration, what that does, it actually extends the length of the knife because of all those little, grooves that are in the knife. It is also very sharp, and it does a great job for its purpose. This is known as a steel. Everybody says, oh, it sharpens a knife. No, it does not. This actually trues a knife, and what that means is because the blade is very, very thin, and it has a tendency of having splinters of metal that come off of that. And by taking your knife and just in a stroking motion go across the sides of the steel, this is magnetized. And it will then pick up those small particles of metal that are on the blade of your knife. This is what we call, it's a hollow ground hot meat knife. If you notice, see all these hollow grounds that are here? The purpose of that is to help to prevent the knife from sticking to the meat or the ham or the turkey or whatever we're carving, and it helps to then give a more smooth cut. And what I like to use along with this carving knife is a fork. You know, the fork will then help to hold the meat into place as you carve, and then you place it onto someone's plate that can easily be done that way. But the last but not least is what we call the workhorse of the kitchen. This is what we call a chef's knife. It could, it's a universal knife, chef's knife, whatever that may be. But there are techniques of using this particular knife. As you know, it's a very long blade, which I like this particular size of the blade. It's around 12 inch, or 10 to 12. But when you're using a knife, the main thing is like you always want to make sure that you keep your knuckles out of the way. You take this and your knife actually works off of your knuckles so that, it helps to keep a nice steady blade. I see some people put their finger up on the top of the blade and there's no control when you do that. The knife should always be that you've got your one finger down the side of the blade, your thumb is on the other side, and now you've got complete control of that knife. The other thing that many do not use, or really do not do, is they have to use the full length of the knife. So when I cut, I will come up here and work it all the way through. So when you're doing that, when I see people chopping like this, it's not really the proper way of using a knife. You want to cut and you want to go all the way through and then bouncing everything off of your knuckles. And then that will then make sure that you really got a nice cut and everything is going to be proper, and the only thing you're not going to cut at this time is yourself. Thank you.